So who likes the idea of clean and soapy fragrances? And what do you think about the idea of a fragrance recreating the whole experience of a bubble bath? Such as this one from the house of Maison Margiela from Replica, and it's called Bubble Bath. Well, I've been testing this one out, and I think I should report back to you what I think about this fragrance. So some of you have asked me about this fragrance, and of course I had to jump on the bottle. So if you're curious to learn about Bubble Bath, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. That's right, today I'm talking about Bubble Bath. What's this one all about, and does it really smell like a bubble bath? Well, I'm going to tell you all about it, but before we do that, if this is your first time tuning in and you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So I've been a fan of Maison Margiela Replica fragrances. I've got several of them. I have multiple videos on the channel for fragrances from this house, and this is a fashion designer who was born in Belgium, and the house is out of, you know, the fashion house is from Paris, France. So it's been around for a while. They've released a ton of fragrances, and originally they launched with the fragrances that were not part of the Replica collection, and now they have the Replica collection. And the Replica collection fragrances are all different fragrances inspired by settings. So I think the most popular from this collection must be Jazz Club and or By the Fireplace, but there are other fragrances that I really enjoy, like Whispers in the Library, Coffee Break, and the last one, last fragrance I reviewed from Maison Margiela was called Springtime in a Park. So several of the fragrances that were previously launched were created by Jacques Cavalier, who did who does Louis Vuitton's fragrances, but I can't find a perfumer for this particular fragrance. So this is a unisex fragrance. It does say shared male-female fragrance, and you know, it is very clean and soapy. So this is a 2020 launch. It's Maison Margiela's Replica Fragrance Bubble Bath, Eau De Toilette concentration. 100 ml bottle is $130. Again, no perfumer listed. Top notes are soap bubble, clean accords, and bergamot. In the heart notes, you got lavender flower, rose superessence, and jasmine absolute. In the base notes, you've got patchouli, coconut, and white musks. So in the end, it is a very soapy fragrance, but what's the deal with the bubble bath idea with this fragrance? So everyone knows when you take a bubble bath, you put in this like very creamy soap, and it starts creating bubbles, and you know, you're just experiencing a very smooth, kind of soapy, clean kind of an experience, you know, not only like relaxing and getting cozy and comforting in this like warm water of soap bubbles, but just really, you know, pleasant experience with this idea, and of course great smells depending on what you're using. So what they've done here is they've given us something that smells ultra soapy but with some flowery touches, and I get some of the flowers in here like lavender and the rose in here. Those kind of seem like they're kind of infused together, so we're kind of getting a lavender rose-like quality. But with this one at the top, you do experience very soapiness. So Maison Margiela's website says soap bubble clean accords, but I feel like it's mostly aldehydes. So in the end, aldehydes do come in, and this is also something I know aldehydic fragrances create this kind of like fizzy, bubbly, effervescent quality, and in order for a fragrance to give us that, I think they're giving us this note at the top to give us that kind of like clean, soapy experience. Of course, I always thought that aldehydic fragrances are very clean and soapy, and of course it really makes sense that they're giving us this particular kind of a note at the top rather than what they call soap bubble clean accords. According to my research. So when you have this like soap bubble clean accords with aldehydes along with some citruses of bergamot, it's a nice start. And again, here, as soon as you spray it, you're experiencing this very clean quality of this fragrance. Soapy touches, definitely. So it is in the heart that you're experiencing the floral touches. Of course, here you have the herbal floral touch of the lavender. It's very aromatic. With the rose, you have this really beautiful, gorgeous, slightly jammy rose, although it's not overly strong, so basically you're getting a nice equal amounts of lavender and rose. At least that's what I get with this one, with some light touches of jasmine. So when the flowers are connected with the aldehydes, that's when you're experiencing like a floral soapy bubble bath quality. So I don't know if you like this idea of something like this. It's a really, really interesting idea. But what's really also in here is this coconut note. The coconut kind of gives it a very smooth quality. Coconut to me as a note is a kind of a cozy experience, especially when it's like coconut milk or something like that. Although the entire fruit itself is a very cozy experience, it generally goes into that gourmand direction. But here it's really, really nicely smooth and clean with all the clean soapy qualities in the flowers, because in the end, when you're taking a bubble bath or even just a bath in general, it's a very relaxing, cozy experience. So they've added this like cozy note of coconut to kind of like give us that whole feel when you're wearing the fragrance. But here in the base notes also you have this white musk, and also white musk in general are very soapy to me anyway, so the whole combination is pretty exquisite. I think that it does really work wonderfully together, and a little tiny touch of patchouli in here as well is giving us a great experience. Now the only negative about this, and I think it has a few negatives actually, for me it almost feels like a second-rate Maison Margiela fragrance. It's not like this wow Maison Margiela fragrance. I feel like it's gonna go and sit right next to something like Lazy Sunday Morning or Funfair, which is two fragrances from this collection that I don't currently own, and I feel like I've experienced those fragrances. It didn't really wow me to get a bottle, even though this was a complete blind buy. I had not sampled it anywhere. I ordered it online and I got it, and I do enjoy it, and I love soapy fragrances in general, but for me I feel like it's a little bit of a second-rate release rather than like this amazing release or something that goes down that's, you know, as sought after as their fragrances, you know, Jazz Club and By the Fireplace. In fact, By the Fireplace is my favorite fragrance from this house, and you know, this is not a bad fragrance, don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's not something that's really jumping out at me. So in general, though, probably soapy fragrances are like that in general, but you know, everybody's different. What I like soapy fragrances for also is to wear them when it's really hot and humid outside. I feel like there's something subconscious about putting on this very clean soapy experience or fragrance experience, and subconsciously you're like clean and showered or something. You know, when you're out and about and sweating, when you put this stuff on, it just really subconsciously acts like you're just taking a shower because it smells clean and soapy, and you know, you get that whole clean and soapy experience as a perfume. So overall, I feel like it's a pretty good fragrance. It's not like a wow fragrance for me, and I feel like it's gonna sit like right next to some of the other fragrances that are like a Lazy Sunday Morning, as I said, Funfair, and there's a few others that I don't own either. And if I was to buy this one, or I actually not buy this one, if I was to go and smell it, I probably would not have bought this one, but it all depends, because I have fragrances like this in my collection, and I don't need any others. But you know, now that I have it, I will put it to use. But is it going to be used quite frequently? I'm not sure. So I would have to think twice about this one before I jump and get the bottle. But as I said, since it was a blind buy, I ended up blind buying it. But if I was going to a store and smelling it, I may not have jumped at buying the whole bottle. Anyway, those are my thoughts about Bubble Bath. Let me know your thoughts about this fragrance, and let me know what you think about soapy fragrances in general. Do you like the idea? Do you think about soapy fragrances the way I think about them, how it gives me that whole subconscious clean and soapy showered experience, you know, on a hot, warm, sweaty day? I'd like to find out. Other than that, guys, let me also know, are you fans of Maison Margiela's house of fragrances? Their replica collection, which includes the Eau De Toilettes in these clear bottles, and the black bottles are the Eau De Parfums. And you know, they also have other fragrances outside of the replica collection, and there's a few that I like in that collection as well. And lastly, did you know that this is a fashion designer from Paris who was born in Belgium, and currently the fragrances are all under L'Oreal. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance and the whole entire house, and let me know what your favorites are from the house. Put a comment down so that I find out. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching today. Please do like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.